You're at a ball game, enjoying a hot dog, when suddenly you begin choking and stop breathing. 911 is called, and paramedics quickly arrive to perform an intubation. Intubation is a medical procedure where doctors sedate patients and then insert a tube to provide oxygen. More than 50 million intubations occur globally, and this data does not include intubations during emergency medicine or during the COVID-19 pandemic. Patients must trust their doctors to intubate them properly in a do or die situation. And our product, the AI video laryngoscope, or AIVL, can alleviate those worries. We have teamed up with Eastern Virginia Medical School and Hampton Fire and Rescue to gain the sufficient data to improve and train our AI model, as well as garner feedback for our laryngoscope's design. Once ready, we will sell our technologies to hospitals and medical manufacturers, allowing them to improve their customer base to reach multiple users from paramedics, doctors, and medical school students. Our cloud subscription service will record and save all operations to improve training for medical professionals. This product and many more is what our company, Zen Alien Tech, can do to revolutionize the medical field. According to the market analysis report by Grandview Research, the US medical device manufacturer's market size was valued at $177 billion in 2020. Currently, there is a local medical device distributor with $1 million worth of antiquated laryngoscopes just sitting in storage, waiting for a tech upgrade that our Zen Alien team can solve. The first laryngoscope was created a century ago and only slightly improved 25 years ago by the invention of the video laryngoscope. While other video laryngoscopes exist on the market, clinicians complain the devices are poorly designed. For example, their blade structure and low-resolution camera fail to provide a clear view of where to insert the tube, putting the patient's life at risk. But to fix this problem, our video laryngoscope employs a unique feature, AI. Our AI video laryngoscope will guide doctors to find the trachea, increasing confidence to a success rate of 90%. Zen Alien Tech will revolutionize the medical field. Thank you.
In 2019, the University of Georgia spent $3.7 million on football recruiting. On Thursday night in the NFL draft, 2 of the top 5 players taken were from non-Power 5 schools, and 1 was from an FCS school, which isn't even in the top half of Division I football. Clearly, college recruiting is broken when the top schools can spend millions of dollars and fail to access the top talent. STG Visions is here to fix that. So the name of the game in recruiting is volume, right? There are a million high school football players, and nobody can contend with that many players, except for us. Current solutions are expensive, on the magnitude of hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, and incomplete. The market's pretty large. In football alone, there are 893 programs segmented across 5 divisions. With $54 million spent by the Power 5 alone last year, the market size in terms of financials is pretty large. And obviously the top tier schools have the biggest budgets, but there's money to be made at every segment or level. The competitive landscape is full of recruiting services by hand, combines, satellite camps, scouting departments, many different sorts of organizations and avenues that provide recruit information, which are all our direct competitors. But the beauty of our product and our mission is that every direct competitor is also a potential client, because if they offer recruit information, we can make their processes more efficient, more cost-effective, and better overall. And then our fix is our state-of-the-art AI Evaluator, which breaks down athletic video and extracts information on the recruits being analyzed. For example, max speeds, average speed, size verification to verify height and weight, and many more metrics which are recorded from the video. Our fix is cheaper, faster, and more convenient because coaches can get all of that information right at their desk instead of having to travel all over the country to verify hundreds of athletes, which allows them to focus in on the athletes that they really should be recruiting. Currently, we worked with 4 college football programs, 3 of which are Division I, and we have 125 athletes queued for analysis. Every school we've put our product in front of has agreed to pay for it or asked for a second meeting. And as we noted before, many of these programs are Division I, which is huge for us. Our revenue is per athlete pricing, which means that price is based per athlete that's being recorded in groupings of 25. The first purchase is at a discounted rate so that schools can get familiar with our product without breaking the bank. And then as volume scales up into the thousands or tens of thousands that schools have to analyze to recruit, the price goes up. And here's an example of a model spreadsheet that coaches will receive when they pay for our product. The information is easy, simple to access, and readily available. Here's a demo of how our technology tracks the athlete, pulling metrics out every step of the way in terms of mobility, speed, and many other things. Thank you very much.
I have a friend named Tiffany Jones.
I got a nice hop off it.
She is a junior at William & Mary, majoring in chemistry. She is slightly introverted. She doesn't like to talk to, or she doesn't like to introduce herself to students she doesn't already know. Right now, she's taking organic chemistry over Zoom, and she is studying for finals. However, as most college students discover, some of the chapters are baffling her, and she would love to meet with other students in her class to talk about these topics so that she can score better on her final exam. She does not want to go through the time-consuming process of trying to reach out and meet students she doesn't already know to try to find compatible study buddies. The problem is that many students are in her shoes. They find it challenging, uncomfortable, stressful, and time-consuming to find study buddies. That is where my team comes in. Study Buddy is a platform to help students who may not know other students in their classes find study partners. Study Buddy allows groups to create flexible groups, which are customizable, and it offers tailored matchmaking through a matchmaking algorithm. After conducting multiple interviews at William & Mary, I've determined that over half of the population would use Study Buddy if they had the opportunity to. Our plan is to eventually extend this to millions of students across the US. If you Google Study Buddy, there are several solutions that pop up. I have looked into each of these, and even though the websites look somewhat impressive, I have actually found out that these companies are all defunct. So I have done extensive research to determine why these companies have failed and how Study Buddy can succeed and learn from these mistakes. Right now, these are our competitors, and as you can see here, they're mostly focused on how groups currently communicate with each other. They're not interested in precise matching or they are not study focused. That is where Study Buddy comes in to fill in the gaps. Our competitive advantage is our matching algorithm that is based in science and uses AI. We also have features to incorporate user feedback because we are customer driven, and we offer personalizable experience for studying. Right now, we're applying for government grants, and in the future, we plan to sell to universities at an annual subscription rate so that students can use it for free. In the future, we might sell it to larger companies such as Blackboard so that they can use it as an app extension. Last week, I showed this to you as our prototype. This week, as you can see, our front end has added many design features to make the site more user-friendly and navigable. Our back-end team is actually meeting as I speak right now to work on the matching algorithm. Our goal is to have a working minimal viable product by this Sunday. Thank you very much. If you'd like to learn more about this or possibly see a demo, please let me know and I'd be happy to talk to you some more. Thank you.
So congratulations on your win today. First, I want to know what inspired your idea and what inspired you to pitch it today at Rocket Pitch.
Yeah, so the idea was inspired by kind of a concussion issue in the sport of football. I was driving along one day at the beginning of the semester on my way to go work as a coaching intern / recruiting intern. And it occurred to me, I kind of started having this idea of how to fix concussions and head trauma in football. And that evolved into AI analysis of football, like the video itself. And I figured out that the market was bigger in recruiting than it was for concussions. So for me, my strategy became, create an established brand, revenue, and kind of position for an organization in recruiting but then apply the same technology that we were developing along the way to solve concussions, which is a long-term goal of my company. And so the inspiration was kind of fixing head trauma, but recruiting just happens to be something that we're able to do and we're able to do well. And so that's become a passion of ours, is just to, upgrade every aspect of the game of football and other sports as well along the way, hopefully. And then, like Tyler mentioned earlier, I was kind of just inspired to pitch today because, I had one other Rocket pitches, and there's always opportunity for more feedback. Me and John Garster pitching tomorrow as finalists for the Tie DC competition, and we're pitching for $5,000. And so I figured, this is a little bit of a different format because we get 7 minutes there, and this was 3 minutes. But I figured, dress rehearsal the day before with some experience, try to work out the kinks would be good as well. And so that's why I pitched.
Awesome. So next question, we were wondering, what's the biggest obstacle you faced in this process and how did you overcome it?
So the biggest obstacle has probably been, honestly, I don't know. There are many, but there are also like few, right? Because, obstacles pop up every day, but then you overcome them kind of by being creative and either seeking help or figuring the problem out on your own. Every day there's something that pops up that I could sit there and I could literally just stop and be like, well, I guess this is over. But, I talk to people and I try to come up with new solutions and new perspectives and new approaches. And that's kind of how I overcome all the obstacles.
Gotcha. That's great. So I guess going off of that, what's something you've learned through this experience or like any big takeaways you might have?
So big takeaway for me has been not getting stuck on one idea. Graham Henshaw's really good about taking your ideas and basically telling you like nothing you think is true is true. You have to go verify what's true out in the world by running studies and talking to people and all these different methods that we have as entrepreneurs. And it's been interesting to try to kind of rip that mentality that I think I know what's going on out of myself and just ask questions, be open to learning and be open to accepting, the world isn't what I think it is, it's what it is. And we can take advantage of solving problems once we kind of enter that mind state.
Yeah, totally. And I guess lastly, we're just wondering, what are your next steps for your venture? What are you looking for in the future?
So next steps for us are growth, right? So like I said during my pitch, we've been able to start to get our technology over the past 10 days in front of other schools, and they love it, right? And they give us feedback, so we're constantly improving. But we have started to validate that we're on the right track. And so the steps for us are, grow as to the farthest reach that we can handle at this stage, right? We don't want to bite off too big of a piece and then crumple under the volume. But we want to grow to our upper limit, and then we want to start to intake revenue and kind of make the case for getting the help that we need to expand, right? So if I can get to 20 or 25 schools and those schools start paying for a high volume amount of analysis, right, where revenue starts to come in, and then I can put our company and our mission in front of people who have the capital to help us expand and handle that volume, then we can only continue to accelerate. So that's the next step for us, and we're already in that process.
That's super exciting. All right. Well, thank you so much, Augustin, and congratulations again. It was a really great pitch.
Thank you. Well, thank you.